What's going on, YouTube? We're going to be watching some Elden Ring lore. I just started playing this game, and to be honest with you, I'm completely lost as to what's going on. There's like a little intro cinematic, but I was still pretty lost as to what's going on. So I want to watch a YouTube video that's kind of breaking it down, and then hopefully I've got a little bit more context as to this massive game we're about to go dive into.
As much detail as possible in under 5 minutes. The cutscene opens with the sound of a hammer on metal, and we are told, "The fallen leaves tell a story." This refers to the leaves of the Erd tree, an enormous golden tree that was given life through the power of the Elden Ring, which is a collection of runes that—
So every individual tree on here is a rune? Oh, no, the ring is a collection of runes. Okay.
Define the nature of reality, and the Erd tree is described to shower blessings with its falling leaves. However, the next line describes how the Elden Ring was shattered, which, in turn, leaves the Erd tree a shadow of its former self and corrupts the nature.
So was the tree and the ring connected spiritually, like through magic and power?
We first see Queen Marika, who is the goddess who used the Elden Ring to create the Erd tree and establish
Okay,
the laws of reality.
the ring is the source of the tree's power. With the ring broken, the tree dies or starts to die.
It's also important to know that before Radagon, Godfrey was Marika's first husband and the first Elden Lord, and Radagon was married to someone named Vernala before he married Marika. The narrator also clarifies that these events—
So Radagon was the second husband, Godfrey was the first husband, and Radagon was married to that girl whose name I don't remember. This is a big ass family tree, bro.
occur in the lands between, across the fog, which just refers to the region that this game takes place in. We are told Queen Marika, who is this figure, is nowhere to be found.
That's
She
the
seems to
baddie
have
from the
disappeared
intro.
shortly after the shattering of the Elden Ring. Here, we see Godwyn the Golden, son of Godfrey and Marika, being killed by assassins in the Night of the Black Knives, an event in which multiple demigods, which are the immortal descendants of the gods in the lands between, were able to be murdered after an unspecified character coordinated the theft of a portion of the Elden Ring known as the Rune of Death. Stealing a fragment of the Rune of Death coordinated
Oh, there's so much information right now. Holy shit.
descendants of the gods in the lands between were able to be murdered after an unspecified character coordinated the theft of a portion of the Elden Ring known as the Rune of Death.
The Rune of Death.
Stealing a fragment of the Rune of Death was necessary because Marika was able to seal away this portion of the Elden Ring that dictates the destined death of the gods and demigods. This event is what would eventually lead to Queen Marika shattering the Elden Ring, allowing the great runes that make up large portions of the Elden Ring to be claimed by the demigods. While we keep talking about the demigods, let's first clarify what exactly this term applies to. There are two primary deities residing in the lands between, being Marika and Radagon. These two would marry Godfrey and Rennala, respectively, but would later—
There's I already forgot the names. Okay, there Marika, Radagon.
being Marika and Radagon.
Marika is this girl here on the left, and then there's Radagon as well. And then
These two would marry Godfrey and Rennala.
Marika married Godfrey, that was her first husband, and Radhika married Rennala. Her second husband was Radhika, and then Radhika ended up marrying Rennala. Or first married Rennala, and then they okay. Holy smokes.
Rennala, respectively, but would later marry each other instead, with Godfrey being cast out from the lands between, and Rennala being left alone to lose her sanity at the Academy of Raya.
So I'm curious, like, what was the riz that Radhika had here to take Marika from Godfrey? Because Godfrey looked pretty fucking sick, bro. Look at this guy's armor. He's got a massive line on his back. The guy over here was it the hair? Was it a hair diff where, you know, the ponytail compared to Godfrey's amazing looking beard here was the difference? I'm confused. Maybe he just got game like that, bro. Who knows?
Being cast out from the lands between, and Rennala being left alone to lose her sanity at the Academy of Raya Lucaria. Each of these pairings led to multiple offspring, which are classified as demigods. Usually, you can tell at least one of a demigod's predecessors by looking at the first letter of their name, such as Godric being related to Godfrey,
Okay.
or Radahn being related to Radagon. This, funnily enough, means that you can structure an entire family tree of demigods with alliterations around the letters G, R, R, M.
Yo, shout out Game of
These
Thrones.
demigods claim the great runes. Here, we see Ranni, the spectral witch who is strongly connected to the night and the moon. Morgott, a horned being referred to as an omen who defends the Erd tree from those who may come to further violate the Golden Order. Mohg, Morgott's twin brother, who we see guiding Miquella, a demigod cursed with eternal childhood, somewhere for the sake of his own plans to grasp—
Wait, cursed with eternal childhood. This guy does not look like a child, bro. Both of these look grown as hell. Which one of these was the child here? Was that Miquella?
power. Rykard, who is allowing himself to be consumed by an ancient serpent as part of a blasphemous ritual. Melania, Miquella's twin sister who has been—
This looks tough as hell. Miquella's twin sister was Melania, who's been afflicted with a supernatural rot from birth, and Radahn. These guys are fucking huge, bro.
afflicted with a supernatural rot from birth. And Radahn, a legendary warrior who has mastered gravity magic. The demigods would engage in a great war for who would become the next Elden Lord, but none would come out on top, leading only to destruction. The Greater Will, which is described as the outer god that created the Elden Ring, abandons the demigods, leaving the next step in this story to those known as Tarnished. The Tarnished, which are essentially a group of cursed humans that return to life after death, were once guided by the Erdtree back to the Lands Between after they were exiled by Queen Marika for them serving no purpose to her. Since then, most Tarnished have lost the guidance of the Erdtree's grace from their eyes. However, grace continues to guide a few particular Tarnished once more.
That's us.
The 5 Tarnished mentioned in the intro are those that were deemed worthy to pursue the mending of the Elden Ring by collecting the great runes from the demigods.
5 Tarnished were one of the 5. We haven't met any yet, I don't think, right?
A new Elden Lord. These 5 Tarnished are Horalu, the chieftain of the Badlands, the leader of the Tarnished during
What? This guy looks like a fucking beast. We don't look like that. Horalu.
their exile, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask.
This is also... Alright, bro, hold on. So as a Tarnished, we're literally a normal human type character, right? When we made our character. All these guys, they don't look like normal people. So is Tarnished more than just like a regular guy?
The scholar who studies a fundamentalist
Or is this something you just
view
like just don't think about it that deep?
the Elden Ring and the order it can enforce. Thea, the deathbed companion, the woman who would remain by Godwin's deathbed and seeks to restore the order of destined death. The loathsome Dung Eater,
I remember this
the
guy.
spiteful prisoner who wishes to kill and defile those around him to spread a disease-like curse on body and soul alike. Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing, the Tarnished who seeks to become Elden Lord by amassing as much knowledge on the subject as he can. And finally, you, a Tarnished of no renown, tasked with standing before the Elden Ring and becoming the Elden Lord. Now, there's much more to uncover, such as who coordinated the Night of the Black Knives, the true nature of Marika and Radagon, or what became of the demigods, but to minimize spoilers, I'll leave that to you to find out on your own. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.
All right, that was fire. Like, all right, so they did a great job, of course, with the original. Like, they did a great job with the intro, making me interested in like having my attention. I didn't get like half of those things that he said in that video right there from the intro, which is maybe a skill issue on my part from not paying attention a certain way. But genuinely, I was lost, man. So that video was so useful.